Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Zozarif bin Baharudin and my matrix number is 83005, and today I would like to present my final year project entitled Ergonomic Risk Assessment of Workplace and Visual Display Unit at Faculty of Cognitive Science and Human Development UNIMAS. I will continue with the introduction of this research. So, I choose this research because ergonomics issues are common in office settings due to prolonged visual display unit use, poor workstation design, and insufficient awareness. The study investigates ergonomic risks faced by staff at the Faculty of Cognitive Science and Human Development UNIMAS. The problem statement for this study is universities frequently ignore the ergonomic requirements of their academic and administrative staff. No, and no standard for ergonomic workplace design would harm staff productivity and health. The similar issues highlighted from previous studies are: the first one is a workspace with an ergonomic setup can significantly reduce the risk of work-related musculoskeletal disorder. And the second one is lighting, temperature, display screen position may contribute to vision issues. The research gap in this study are underrepresentation of university setting, limited institutional ergonomic policies, and lack of employee awareness and training. So, I wanted to find out just how serious the problem is within our own faculty. That's why I choose this research as my own project. For this study, I use qualitative approach. I focus on ergonomic risks related to seating and visual display units at FCSHD. The participants are six academic and non-academic staff from FCSHD. I use three main tools for this study, which are observations, self-assessment checklist, and focus group discussion or FGD. Firstly, I observed the actual work environment in the FCSHD workplace. I paid attention to how staff were seated, the positioning of their monitors, and how they interacted with their workstations. This gave me a real world view of their posture, movement, and behavior, things that people might not even realize that they do. I also take pictures meanwhile they meanwhile they are working. Then I use a checklist to assess specific ergonomic risk factors. This checklist helped me evaluate things like chair adjustability, monitor height, lighting, and whether the desk and equipment were properly arranged. It is a structured way to make sure I didn't miss any key elements during my observation. And lastly, I conducted a focus group discussions with staff members. This allowed me to this allowed them to share their own experience and feelings in a more open and conversational setting. Through this, I gathered detailed feedback about discomfort, workload, and how they manage daily tasks. Their responses helped me identify common issues like physical fatigue, poor workstation design, and lack of ergonomic support. By combining all three methods, I was able to get both objective data and personal experience, which helped build a clearer picture of the ergonomic risks faced by the staff at FCSHD. The next one is findings and discussion. Firstly, I will state the research objectives and research questions for this study. First one is the first research objectives is to assess the ergonomic risk of workplace at FCSHD. The second one is to evaluate the ergonomic risk of unit display at FCSHD. And the third one is to explore the ergonomic risk among FCSHD employees. My research questions are: what particular ergonomic risks are there in the main office of FCSHD? And what effects do these ergonomic risks have on employees' job performance and productivity? And what do workers think about the current ergonomic procedures at reducing this ergonomic risk? The findings of my data collections were very telling. Many staff members complained about uncomfortable chairs and bulky desks. One participant said kerusi itu tak selesa, terlalu bulky, showing that the furniture design is not user-friendly. Some also reported eye strain, headaches, and wrist pain, which are clear symptoms of poor visual display unit setup. This aligns with studies like the one by Navidi et al. 2022, which link long-term screen use and poor posture to discomfort. A, ma- a major issue was workload overload, with staff often having to power through fatigue due to lack of proper rest breaks or ergonomic adjustments. Perhaps most importantly, there was a lack of awareness. Many staff didn't even realize the discomfort they experienced was an ergonomic issue. One said, kami orang si perasan benda yang ergonomik sebenarnya. This shows this. This shows that there is a real gap in training and institutional support. The next one is conclusion. The findings of the research support and strengthen her studies while addressing a critical gap, which is the lack of ergonomic research and policies in university setting. Poor ergonomic workstation contributes to musculoskeletal disorders and reduce staff productivity. Staff always adapt and adopt the situation on their own due to the lack of institutional support. There is a strong request and demand for ergonomic awareness, training, and better equipment among staff. The recommendation and future work moving forward, it is recommended that ergonomic training be provided to staff and the infrastructure improvements be implemented, not just in the FCSHD but across other faculties as well. It will also be valuable to track the impact of these interventions over time to see how they improve staff health and productivity. That is the summary of my final year project presentation. Thank you for listening, and once again, I am Zulzari bin Baharuddin, and the study was supervised by Dr. Wan Nurizan binti Wan Hashim. Assalamualaikum and thank you.